We're at the Panacea Museum in Bedford, and this was once the home of a society in the early part of the 20th century who waited here for the return of Jesus Christ. They're an apocalyptic and millenarian group. They believed that the apocalypse was coming, and it was here that seemed to be a very apt venue for a new exhibition by Michael Takeo Magruder called Decoding the Apocalypse.
As an artist, one of the things that of course I love to do is dialogue with history. In 2012, I was introduced to Professor Ben Quash, who's one of the leading theologians at King's College in London. Ben and I had identified 4 readers to work with, one for each of the pieces, the 4 sort of installations, and then the 5th one, the horse's technology, was kind of one that came out of the conversations I was having with Ben and my own kind of thoughts about the process. I wanted to combine, yes, of course, the pop culture notion of apocalypse in terms of destruction, because there is a lot of that in Revelation, but I also wanted to kind of frame everything around this idea of the original version, the original meaning of unveiling, technology and art as a means of unveiling these issues that are brought up in Revelation. Because in this idea of looking forward to this imaginary sort of destructive future and rebirth, however that will happen, when it will happen, if it will happen, is not so important when we imagine, I think, but it's when we imagine that sort of, that future which may or may not be. It's what it tells us about the here and the now, about our own preoccupations, about the conflicts that we have as individuals, as societies, of what we fear, what we hope, where we're trying to get to, where we've come from. It's all these kind of things that kind of come together. And so that's kind of my take on that, and where I was trying to come from to make this show. And any good work is something that will basically look to the past but also speak to future generations. So for me, that was the attraction of doing the show here. And then in practice, I think it's ended up being a very good fit.